A very good afternoon. I'm very happy to welcome all of you to this webinar on the CI Center for Competitiveness for SMEs. This is presently headquartered in Chandigarh, and we work out of the Northern Region Office of CII, and this is really housing competitiveness capabilities which are available through a service for the SME membership of CII. We are also working with non-CI members, but our primary focus is the SME members. This center is also an ISO 9000 2008 certified, and we do have to face an audit. So we follow very strict quality processes to ensure that quality of service is maintained. What is really our vision? The vision of this center is to become the single point of reference for meeting the competitiveness needs of the small and medium enterprise. As a single point of reference, we mean it should be a one-stop shop for the SMEs. If they come to this center, it should meet all their competitiveness requirements. So SMEs want to be able to do so many things. Okay? So what is it that we are going to be focusing on? For instance, they may want everything. They may want business development, they may want finance, they may want IT, they may want, operational efficiencies, etc. But we are focused right now on certain areas which is illustrated in our mission and our activities. So the mission is to provide a range of services that enhance the capability of the small and medium enterprises to become world-class through engagement with all stakeholders and global partners. So our stakeholders today are the government members, it is the banks, it is IT companies, and we do have some global partnerships which we will talk about in this presentation. So we do provide a range of services through our own experts and also experts who we engage from outside on specific areas. These are some of the government supported schemes which are which our center is promoting. DC MSME stands for the Development Commissioner Office. As maybe some of you are aware, the Ministry of the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise has two parts. There is an office which is the Secretary of the MSME, and there is another office which is called the Development Commissioner of the MSME. So the Development Commissioner of the MSME funds projects for SMEs and SME associations through a variety of programs which are there on their website. We are associated with three of them. There is one scheme which is called the Quality Management Systems or the Quality Tools and Technique Awareness Programs, which we do with the Ministry of SME. And these programs are run across the country, mostly in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities. And there is an annual program that we sign up with them, and then we have the programs done in partnership with the regions. The second scheme which has recently opened up for us, and that is the Lean Manufacturing Cluster Scheme. The Lean Manufacturing Clusters are, the government has recognized that we can improve the competitiveness of the SMEs through Lean Manufacturing Clusters, and the CFC has capabilities to support these clusters. So in the past 4 or 5 years, we actually did only one such lean manufacturing cluster with the government, and that too, it was in Calcutta. It was run by a company called Moonlight for their suppliers, and we were invited to be the consultants to help them out. But now we have actually put in proposals to the ministry to really work as a lean manufacturing consultancy organization so that we can do many more clusters. So this scheme is now open. It has funds. 80% of the funding is done by the government and only 20% fees needs to be paid by the companies. So I would very strongly urge and recommend people around the webinar today that please ask questions and please connect with us on this. Also on the QMS, QTT awareness programs, if there are locations in CII who would like to have these programs, we can, in our proposals this year, we can put in those, we can include those locations. We also take international missions, outbound and inbound. The outbound missions are again hugely subsidized by the ministry, and inbound missions actually come and visit Chandigarh. So almost every 2-3 months we do have international delegations coming from the developing world, and they visit our center. We also are doing a very interesting program with the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, which is under the Ministry of Industry. It's called the Indo-German Manager Training Program. So all of these I will just illustrate to you in the next pages. So this is the outward delegations. So the objective of these missions is to help our companies understand the quality management systems and tools and techniques which are adopted by industry in developed countries. So this is a very recent delegation we took in the month of March to Japan, and this scheme is going to continue this year again. So if there is an interest to partner with us to participate in such a delegation, we are happy to work with state offices and the regions to get the best out of this proposition. Next, inbound. So this was coming really from the African countries, as you can see. So this was almost about 40-50 people coming to our office in Chandigarh, and such a visit happens very, very frequently. As I mentioned, at least 2-3 months we have a mission coming in. The Indo-German Manager Training Program is again a very interesting program. It has a training component in India, which is done by the Germans and the Indian people. The objective of the training program is to teach SMEs how to do business with Germany. Okay? So in the Indian component, they learn about, what are the opportunities in Germany and how to negotiate, how to project yourself to the German businesses so that you are able to attract their attention and get business proposals with them. And then this is followed by training in Germany for about a month, and this is funded by the government of Germany. I think the companies have to pay only for their airfare, but the rest of it is all funded by the government of Germany. And at the end of it, for 1 year at least, there is a follow-up through alumni activities to make sure that these companies do end up with a positive result with German partners. So the alumni activity, of course, continues forever. So we have been running this program for at least 6 years, and we have a very good response on this. Almost the results are 100% success, because every company who went to Germany through this program has reported their increase in their turnover, their increase in their investments abroad, increase in investments from Germany into India. Also, many of them have set up businesses in Europe. Many of them are using Germany to leverage the market space around the world. So these are basically normally engineering companies, but we've also had special requests from Germany to promote this with the mining companies, healthcare companies, and energy efficiency companies. So in 2013, we've taken a cumulative of 148 managers to this program, and it is really management development because they learn how to do business globally. So let me now change the topic. Okay, so the Indo-German program and the schemes with the government are all basically government support-linked programs. We also have our own experts, and I think our experts are today one of the best in the world, and they are teaching topics like manufacturing excellence, HR management, total cost management, energy audits and management, corrosion management. Now, the primary focus is SMEs. Okay. So all these subjects have to be customized for the SMEs, and these counselors over the past 7-8 years have really, developed this whole subject and its implementation and how to do the hand-holding with the companies in these areas. So some of you may see that, energy audits is primarily the service coming from the Green Business Center. But this center is doing it in coordination with the GBC, but primarily targeting the SME segment. So they are really complementing the work with the GBC, and so similarly also on TCM, whereas the Institute of Logistics is the center which is responsible for TCM, but this is being done for the SMEs through the CFC center. Corrosion management, of course, is a new subject which the center is working on, and they have a corrosion management committee which has 42 of India's best experts on corrosion as their members, and they are providing services like corrosion audits, etc. So let me go into this in some detail. So how do we engage with our members? There are 5 main ways that we do that. The first is training programs. There are open house programs, and we have a training calendar, and we are happy to share that with all of you. We also do in-company work, that is hand-holding in companies. Also, we do advisory service, which is again individual or in cluster formation. So clusters means about 6 to 12 companies would come together, form a cluster, and we would offer them support on a roadmap, which is a proven roadmap for bringing about the improvements in the cluster through the cluster approach. So this has become quite popular because it is a very cost-effective way for the SMEs to learn, and I think by working together, they also learn a lot from each other. So therefore, the speed of improvement becomes much faster. So we have roadmaps for clusters for 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, 36 months, and so on. So there are roadmaps through which we can take these companies towards becoming what we call as being ready for being, I would say, evaluated and I would say declared as complying to the Indian production system. So this is primarily manufacturing companies, and our work has been focused towards developing companies to become following the Indian production system. So audits and assessments is another service we offer to our members, and audits could be for quality, could be for productivity, could be overall operational efficiency and energy area, and audits for corrosion as well. And we also support the northern region for their award on Kaizens and 5S award. So our counselors are, I would say, capable, competent to participate in such assessments and audits, and also help to set up systems to do it. So, for instance, working with the northern region to set up this award, that was one of the initiatives taken up by our counselors this year. So I think many of the regions are having such awards, and if there is a need to look at, doing something in the areas of expertise of this center, it can be something that we could be open to. Okay, so in the Q&A, do please, bring in if you have any questions on this. Also, we have some e-learning modules, and also we do webinars on these subjects. Also, we do road shows for our service. For instance, if you want to promote cluster services in your zone, in your district, we'd be happy to come and do road shows to promote the services of the center. More than promote the services, really to identify companies who are needing this service and helping to meet their needs and requirements. And of course, we also do seminars, but I would say almost 80% of our business is really providing training and advisory service, audits, etc., through our own experts. Yeah. So we have till today, this is a cumulative figure, 239 clusters formed by the CII Center for Competitiveness for SMEs, impacting 2,438 companies, and these are across the country, and ongoing 38 clusters which are covering 250 companies. As I described to you that a cluster has a start point and an end point, so it usually lasts a year or year and a half. So these are clusters which have been formed since about 2004. These are the energy and corrosion management services. So on energy, in the last 5 years, through energy management services of the center, around 7,000 lakh annual savings has been reported from around 90 individual companies. And in the corrosion services, we've done 8 corrosion audits, 24 training programs, and nearly 720 organizations benefited. And we have 23 booklets on corrosion management, which have been written by these 42 national experts on corrosion for the SMEs. Okay, so do's and don'ts on corrosion management, those kind of knowledge is available in our center. Recent achievements, more than 250 training programs held in the last 3 years in the various verticals, nearly 1,600 senior and middle-level managers and 2,000 engineers benefited from training in corrosion and energy management respectively. 7 batches, about 150 people benefited through the Indo-German Manager Training Program, and we started a new initiative through the Cluster Competitiveness Discovery Missions. So taking industrial delegations to companies to study much more than, what was good manufacturing. Today, the definition of good manufacturing practices includes green manufacturing, lean manufacturing, energy conservation, supplier development, etc. So we teach companies how to evaluate such practices, and also we teach them how to implement this in their companies through such very specialized missions. This is our flagship program, the National Cluster Summit, and usually it is organized in September-October time frame in Delhi. Success stories, we do have brochures of the success stories, and these are again available for everybody. We are happy to share these, and we also have our own publications which are really about, for instance, this is Godrej sharing their journey through excellence through the cluster approach, how the Godrej group of companies worked as a cluster, and now actually this year they have started supporting their own suppliers, okay? And maybe they will also write that up. We also had this book, Best Practices in TQM, released here in the southern region. We also have the Supplier Quality Management Handbook, done again with Godrej, and there are other books as well. So be happy to again share these internally. media, and thank you. So I'll be happy to answer questions on any of the subjects. Any?
Please raise your question in question section box.
Please forward list of training programs for 3-tier cities.
Can answer the one-way communication.
Yeah. Okay. So in the 3-tier cities, Sunny, we can actually, we'll give you a list of programs which we are doing, but they're basically the ones which are being also supported by the government, that is on under the QMS QTT scheme. So I have a colleague in Delhi. Her name is Leena Pandey. I will ask her to put over here the list of programs we did under the QMS QTT program in the 3-tier cities. Certainly. But they are, I mean, like very, very basic, simple programs, and which are in line with the list of, in line with the government approved lists. So we'll be very happy to share that. Usually it is to do with quality management systems and tools, techniques, like 7QC tools, problem solving methodology, and 5S, how to introduce 5S in your companies, etc. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Do we have any foreign companies in the 239 clusters that we had just discussed? There may be many companies who may be like joint venture partners with foreign companies. As such a full foreign company, I'm just thinking. I mean, we work with the suppliers of Maruti, so many of them have partnership with some Japanese partners. For example, Sona Koyo. So Koyo is a Japanese partner, like that. So joint ventures with foreign companies is definitely a very, very common thing. But we've also done, Hyundai has done a cluster. So a Korean company, and they've taken our help to work with their suppliers. But the suppliers are Indian companies. But some of these foreign companies where, where the partnership of the Indian side is also not too much, maybe even 10–12%, those kind of companies have also come in our clusters. So I don't think we have a difficulty to work with the foreign companies. So if you have some, plan, or you have some thoughts, then please let's continue this discussion. Planned schedule of counselors to be shared with the zones so that accordingly we can plan or arrange for workshops and plant visits. Yes, Charles, that's something very, very easily doable. And which zone are you from, Charles? I'm forgetting. I know we met. Which zone are you from? Madurai. Okay. Sure. We'll certainly let you know. And I mean, for Madurai, actually, even coming to Chennai or Coimbatore would be okay. Is that okay? Then we can do something in Madurai for you. Okay. We do have a counselor based here in Chennai, Murugeshan. He's based here in Chennai, and he can come and do programs for you in Madurai if you like. Or Vaidyanathan is another counselor. Two of them are based here in Chennai, so we can do programs for you. But there are other counselors also traveling to this part. Yeah. Cluster reports for Salem office for our MSME member reference. Okay. Usually these cluster reports don't look very impressive in the sense that they're just results. Before we were at this and now we are so much. Okay, but I think if we can have blogs, you know, where we can actually write up a small paragraph about the success, and then, you know, you can have your members participate in that discussion forums. That may be something which is interesting way to, you know, see the success stories. So copies of our cluster reports. I'll see what I can best send. Yeah. Do we have, where is this? Somebody else typed a question. The cluster charges that CI takes is considered to be very high by the members. Can the center tie up with SIDBI and subsidize the charges for members? Suparna, we already have this government scheme, no? 80% money is being given by the government. But if you want to have with SIDBI, if you have some good relations, we can, and you have a set of companies in your zone, we are happy to help out. I mean, usually we are charging to a small scale company something like about, for the clusters, we are charging about 2.5 lakhs maybe per year. So if the government comes in, government support comes in through the through QCI and the DCMSME office, then you get 80% subsidy. Okay, so that is one way. But if you are very keen to tie up with SIDBI, Suparna, we are happy to do. We are happy to look at the arrangement. So if there are companies identified and we can make a presentation to them, and if SIDBI is to be involved, we are happy to bring SIDBI on board. We've done it before. I think SIDBI has supported a cluster for us in the past in the Eastern region. So it shouldn't be a difficult thing to do. Yeah. Any other questions? Kindly also send 302. Something came at 302, Maina. The cost. Okay. The cost incurred, this is Charles again. Counselors from CEOs are quite very expensive. Being from a small zone, we feel that if the cost could be reduced, it would be very helpful, as workshops serve as very good service to our members. Okay, So we are looking at Madurai, Charles. So if we are looking at Madurai, Vaidyanathan coming down and doing a program for you, or Murugeshan coming down and doing a program for you, we can definitely discuss some deal which is practically possible. Or from the other centers of excellence also, we will see how we can make this affordable. The other is if we have also local consultants. I'm happy to look at that option also. If we have local consultants and we can actually empanel them, so have a process to empanel them, and they can then, run the programs as CII or COEs, empaneled consultants locally. And there the cost would be very little because you may not necessarily even pay for him because he's getting a very good platform, or he or she, whoever. So we can look at a mechanism to empanel local consultants, and we can approve their quality. So we can interview them, we can verify that their communication, their ways of communicating the subject is effective enough. Then we can look at empaneling some of these experts. That way it can be very, very inexpensive. These people may even do it for you free. I agree, cost is the game, so everybody would like to bring the cost down. So empaneling could be a good idea to work on. So Charles, we can look at creating some kind of a profile of experts and sharing with you, and you can look out for local experts and connect them to us, and we can empanel them and you can use them. Then the cost is very little. What do you think about that idea, Charles? There would be many retired people living in Madurai who have worked in some of the good companies in Madurai. I mean, I've been to some of the TVS companies there, and it was really the place where TVS was born. So there are good people there, and they will be also speaking the local language. We can find out who are good people from Chennai itself and approach such people who are retired and wanting to, share things. Any other questions? Yes, good idea, ma'am. Provided a good background check of the counselors has been authenticated from your side. Absolutely, that is exactly what I'm saying. So we can actually go through referencing, no? So I can ask, for instance, the TVS people over here, Venu's company or Mr. Mahesh's company who have plants there in Madurai, to suggest to us people who are retired and living there and who can be our faculty. Certainly. That is necessary because I think the COEs will be able to at least verify these three important factors, that they are not, that they're actually good. They know the subject well. They have implementation experience, so they are able to give you practical ways of implementing things. That is what the centers do and should be propagating that. And second thing, we would make sure they are good, effective communicators for the audience that you have in mind, because it needs to be matched. And third thing is that they should follow the CII rules and guidelines, and they should use their intellectual property only. They should not use something which is not from an authentic source or something which is bad. So we will check all these three factors. Content is good, IP is correct, third, communication is good. These three things are okay, then we can validate that we can do the session. Would you agree that these are critical, or would you like would you like any other points to be put into the checklists? He's writing something. I asked him something. Right, I think that's good, Charles. Yeah, I like your response. Okay. Happy to see a lot of enthusiasm in Madurai. How about the other locations who are present? Sunny is from where? So Patna, I know. And Moinak. Is CII authorized to issue audit certificates? You see, we issue certificates of training. You know, we issue certificates that we have given so and so has attended this training program. Okay, and then we give certificates like or certificates for example, in the business excellence assessment as per this framework. You know, this company has been found to come up to this level of achievement. So those are the kind of certificates that CI gives. But audit certificates, what audit are you talking about, Maina? Because, you know, audit certificate, we are not like a auditing company, you know, like a PwC or something which give financial audit certificates. We are not in that. We are not in that. So how much do we charge for auditing a company? So energy audits is okay. Energy audits we do, and we give them, we actually tell them that when we do an energy audit, we tell them this is the gap. So if you fulfill this gap, and you know, you will be able to save so much energy. At the end of it, when they have implemented all that and they come back to us and tell us how much they did and how much they saved, so we record the energy saving. That's the data that you saw in my slide on energy. But we do not give them any certificates of auditing. We give them only, you know, we actually collect from them the information on that. Audit certificates is slightly tricky because, you know, we don't want to get into liability with anyone. Because if we say that so-and-so company has, you know, been audited for, we are not doing financial audits. We are not doing financial audits. But auditing a company for energy, I will have to come back to you on the prices. Okay. Can we organize IGMTP in Kolkata? Okay, the IGMTP is a national program, and we can for the next batches. Actually, there are batches going already for this year. The selections are already done, and there may be some sectoral missions which come up quite suddenly, because Germany does this program across the world with about something like 15 countries. So in 15 countries, when suddenly they have some vacancies, they suddenly wake up and say, can you quickly produce 5 people for energy, you know, within 2 days, 3 days kind of thing. So we kind of support them on that. But this program is not yet a regional program. Okay, but I don't know how it can be in Calcutta. It can happen in Calcutta if you maybe have a connection. Does GIZ operate in Calcutta? Does GIZ operate in Calcutta? Then we can maybe look at connecting and asking them to do an additional, program specially for Calcutta. But right now they are operating in India through FICCI and CII, and it so happens that CII is doing very well, so we end up taking much more candidates than what FICCI does. But right now they're not operating in a regional basis. But we can have some of these German experts when they're coming over here, when they visit other locations, then we can do programs with them and we can partner with the states and zones. I think that may be something possible. That may be something possible. But it is a very good program for your members, and to promote that to your members is useful. But doing the program in Calcutta, I'm not quite sure how it will fully work out. ACI authorized to issue audits. That we already discussed. Quality audits. Quality audits, yes. Quality audits. And quality audits are basically, again, it's not done by CII. Quality audits are done by, certification companies. So quality audits for ISO 9000. ISO 9000 is one of the standards of quality, and there are certification agencies who do quality audits. But as far as CII is concerned, we do audits, but we do not give them a certificate. Okay? So we do give them a kind of a recommendations of where they are falling short against the specific 20 requirements of the ISO 9000 standard, or in the case of the environment standard, the Center for Sustainable Development, they do for environment audits, and as we were discussing so far, BBC and CFC do also energy audits for these companies. But quality audit, we don't really give them a certificate. We give them, what we call as a non-conformance report. Okay. So these are your non-conformities. That's what we give them, along with recommendations of what we should do. BDMA and Indo-German Chamber of Commerce are operating in Calcutta. Yeah. BDMA, Indo-German Chamber of Commerce, I don't know how, they are not connected with this IGMTP program. Okay, so, but Indo-German Chamber may be having their own, they have missions, delegations they take to Germany. So, if you want to discuss with them, you can, certainly, to take a delegation, but they are not the ones who are responsible for the IGMTP. The agency who is responsible for IGMTP is GIZ. Okay. And BDMA is again another association which is again very active, and Calcutta was, I think, their starting point. I'm not sure if they are also now in other cities, but you can engage with them more as, more from a viewpoint of participation in exhibitions and giving you speakers, and you can also organize delegations to Germany through them. So work with BDMA and IGCC, okay, to engage with Germany from Calcutta Minor. I think it is a good idea to do that unless you're already doing that. Do we have any foreign companies in the 239 clusters that we have just discussed? As I said, there may be foreign component in the companies. Okay, like as I said, some holding of the companies would definitely have foreign, partnerships. For example, there are suppliers to Maruti, who have joint ventures, who are joint ventures with Japanese companies. They are all they are all members of our clusters. But a full foreign company as a cluster member, I don't think so. I don't think we have one, but I'll have to double check that and come back to you. Any reason why you're asking this question? This is the second time you asked, or it's the first time it's still come up. Please tell me, why are you asking this question, Dheeraj? I mean, then I can maybe answer it more clearly. There's another question of mine is how much do we charge for auditing a company? It's usually the same as our consultancy mandates. Could be anything between, for a small company, could be maybe 2,500, 3,000 rupees a day. To a bigger company, about 15, 20,000 rupees a day. I mean, some of our centers may be charging more also. But typically, that's the kind of fees we charge on auditing. Any other questions? Do we provide advisory service to SME startup? How to go about with this tie-up? Okay. Yeah, Suparna, let me answer your questions. Okay. So with Siddhi and Suparna, where are we looking for doing this? This is in your hometown. Okay. So if you have good relations with Siddhi there, we can approach them and ask them if they would be interested to support a cluster in that area and what kind of subsidy model are they looking at. So is it a 40-60, is it a 70-30, 80-20 or 50-50? The last time I remember what they did in Calcutta was 50-50. But they may have flexibility there. So let's find out from Siddhi what is it that they are willing to come down. Second, tell them that it will be a 1 year, 1.5 year long program. If you want to see results, don't look for anything, sooner than that. Third thing, that how would they like to be involved in it? I mean, would they like to see results, reports, or would they like to kind of, pay us in the beginning to do the work? What all will they cover? I mean, basically their money will cover what part? So will it be setting up of the cluster, running of the cluster, payment to the councillors, and finally the certificate that we can jointly give to the cluster companies. So that is, you discuss with them what is the scope they would like to be involved in, okay, and what is the money that they are willing to put down. Then we talk to, through you can do this on with your chairman, and then the chairman can invite companies to hear Siddhi's, proposition, and there can be a presentation by a councillor to share the roadmap, and then whichever companies want to sign up, they can. That is one way to do it. The other is to go to a big company, okay, and tell them that, listen, we'll get Siddhi to assist. Will you put together your 10 or 12 suppliers, and we will take them through a 1.5 year roadmap or a 2 year roadmap with Siddhi support. This second is always a better option because the pressure is there then from the customer for improvement. Plus, there is the incentive coming from the bank. So if you can get whichever model of these going, we will give you the support. We will give you the counselor. We will give you all the necessary. Is that clear, Suparna? Then I'll come to your other question. "50-50". What is 50-50? That is, it gives 50-50. Okay, okay, yeah. So that is good. 50-50 is damn good. I mean, the only thing is now get a good big company in your location, and you ask them that why don't we help them through the cluster. SIDBI will give 50%, 50% if the companies pay, and let the OEM play, become like a sponsor of the program. We don't want financial sponsorship, but they should help to identify good companies from their supplier base who they want to improve. Then, in whom they have a long-term interest to make them, better. Then we can work with them. Okay, Suparna. Are you comfortable with that? Do we provide advisory service to SME startup? Okay. So, is this a company which is already registered as an SME? Is it a registered company, or does it need to still go through the, or it's just, at an idea level? We advise SMEs at any stage in their life cycle. There is no issue on that. But what do you mean by advisory service to SME startup? At any idea level. Okay. So if the company is only at an idea level and it wants to, look at the feasibility of the idea and look at setting up a organization or a team, certainly we'd be interested to look at them. We are looking at the whole life cycle, right from startup to its closure. So if Suparna, you want to elaborate your question a little bit, that what exactly is the need? Our companies, our members, they're saying that we would like CII to provide hand-holding support to startup companies there. Because this is really to do with innovation. It is how can you come up with a new business. So there are even large companies, they set up a small company, or they create a special cell for ideating and setting up a new business. So we are definitely giving this kind of consultancy through our GTC 100 program. That is the Golden Top 100 Company program. And I mean, some of things may be happening through the CFC. But whatever it is, I mean, we are happy to look at the need and find the solutions. $327 is the last. Suparna. No, I'm fine. Thanks. To execute its idea to start a business. So, Suparna, when you are actually wanting to support companies to start a business, execute its idea to start a business, uh, are you interested to look at the model which I think Southern Region has done in Kerala, and I'm not sure also in Tamil Nadu, but they basically had like a mentorship program, okay, which could, help these startups to, get this mentor support on, taking the idea into the, to the business stage. So a mentorship program can be developed locally, okay, but you can also have, external experts who may come in on different subjects, but you still need to have like a kind of a senior mentor who's willing to give time to this kind of work, and this person, if it is local, that is the best, because otherwise all costs and all will come. But you can study the mentorship program which is been running in, I think, Kerala, if I'm not mistaken, Kochi or something, someplace. They had a very good mentorship program going on last year. I'd seen some presentations on that, and felt that it was very good. Okay, but maybe we can also direct this question to Anjan and also to Sujit, because I think Sujit, who's looking after the SME space, if he has any new programs, and also Anjan is looking after innovation, so he may also be having some things. But what I would suggest at this point in time is to also look at a local mentor network which can provide this kind of guidance in a nice way. Okay, and that's something like what used to be done in BYST. So, but only thing is, BYST would be, yeah, I think BYST also used to do something like this, if I'm not mistaken. Company to execute idea, start a business. I think BYST did something similar. Am I right, Suparna? Or this is something different from what BYST is doing? Hmm? Yeah, BYST also, in Guwahati also, I've seen BYST doing some very good work. Handholding companies to execute ideas sounds like a very BYST-like work. But it's really mentoring program, it's really mentorship. And of course, connecting to, the banks, connecting to lawyers, connecting to IP, IP experts. So you need that networking and mentoring at that stage. So you can look at both, either connecting to the BYST or connecting to the, Anjan's innovation clusters. Similar, but does the COE has this service now? No, not yet. Not yet in full form. Not yet in full form. But as I said, there are other parts of CI who are doing something like that. So good to connect with already some good initiatives running on. But if you are really thinking that this center should work in this area, we'll definitely take note of your request and idea. Should we, how does it close? No. That is, but people are willing to now sign up. Okay. So thank you everybody. Thank you so much for being here. And you can always write to me and send me any more ideas and questions. But let me just very quickly sum up some 3-4 very good points that have come up in the discussions. One is if we can look at the SIDBI partnership for supporting a cluster with Suparna. Number 2 is a suggestion to the center to look at starting up and hand-holding from idea to a new business. Whether it is a SME or it is a large company wanting to start a new business, or it is just an entrepreneur who wants to set up a new business. The third thing that we spoke about was we will share the list of training programs for 3-tier cities, and we will also share some of our cluster success stories with all of you. We'll also, I think we also answered about the Indo-German Manager Training Program. I think, Mainak, I may like to connect you to Amit Singhvi. He is the counselor in CFC who's responsible for the IGMTP program. And you can get a look at the details and so on. So even if, you want to discuss, ways to work with each other, there can be a win-win, So maybe you and Amit can have a discussion about the IGMTP program. And on quality audits, my suggestion is that you can have a discussion again with with Amit himself. Amit can tell you about the audits that they are doing on quality. They can share with you kind of reports. So good idea to meet with Amit Singhvi. He may be able to answer both the IGMTP point and the quality. And on the VDMA and Indo-German, I think I've said whatever I had to say. And then do we have foreign companies? Dheeraj never told me why he's looking for an answer on that question. But if he has a foreign company who wants to be in the cluster, please certainly connect with me. And we'll definitely look at, how your office can be a partner in that initiative so that there is a win-win for all of us. Also, Charles, we we had some very good discussions about having some local experts in Madurai to support your training needs. Okay, so we will work on a system on that. So thank you very much. Okay, and bye for now.